50% of the workers in United States. So starting with only 2 slides from where we have started. AI, you must have, I don't know how many, which year students you are, but if you are of a third year or a third year or second year, third year students, you must have studied artificial intelligence. So you must have heard the Turing test. Turing test is basically what Alan Turing, it's a long backstory in 1950s, and Turing asked the basic test that he has conducted, and that was the first instance where he identified, or where he concluded that AI or artificial machine can be intelligent too. And that time, that is 1950, and the till date, that is 2024, we have evolved a lot in this field. And every time or every day we are evolving. So Alan Turing, what just only 2 line, I'm not explaining that Turing test right now, but what he did, he the Alan Turing, what the test he has conducted, that the two in the two rooms, one in the one room human was sitting, in the second room a system was there, and no one was aware that who is answering, that human person, that was, he was thinking that the in the second room, that is answer being asked by a human being. So but that particular system is trained for that particular area, let's suppose a healthcare. So he frequently asked the questions, but because that particular application, that particular system was trained, so he was able to answer those each and every question, and without, and we are not able to even identify that the answer is given by the machine or a system. So that was the first instance where we identified, or Alan Turing identified, that machines can be intelligent. So uske baad, if I'll talk about, that is the era of 1950s and 60s, we just started working in the area of AI. Then 70s and 90s, where the expert system comes into the picture, and there are the two expert system that I generally taught in when I teach AI. That is, one is your that is in for the field of chemical engineering. There's a many expert system available, and then machine learning comes into the picture. That is in 90s and 2000s, and lots of work. Now everyone is working with the ML, and you must also be working in your projects that training and testing and learning the data and getting some classification or clustering results. And 2010 until now, where we are working, that is your deep learning, your transfer learning models, or the deep learning models, CNN models, etc. So the advent of deep learning, where we have started in 2024, the from 2010 to till now, and again I'll add on that particular line, that again that many work has been done even in this. So that was a previous or history that I discussed. From where we have started in 1950s, and till now we are working, and every time we are adding some new technologies to your this particular application or area. So where we are heading? We are heading towards what? We are heading towards a larger context window. We are heading towards, we are generating new models that is specialized, or that is expanded with lots of AI features. We are heading towards that. Obviously, whenever we are using something, there should be some ethics or the rules, or there should be designed rules for how, at what extent we are using. There are so many examples that are available. Deepfake videos, you must have seen. It's a long time back, I think 4 5 months back story. That is Rashmi Madana, whose deepfake video was generated. So there are, and many more celebrities. So these are the advantages. Obviously, for every I would say technique air, there should be always ethics, there should be a standard, there should be regulations for those using those technologies or latest technologies. But everybody is not going to follow those rules and regulations. So world government, your governments should basically adopt some, they have designed. Obviously, there are some rules and regulations and ethics are associated with AI, but no one is maximum, or many students or many people are not following those regulations, and due to those breakage of rules and regulations, these fake videos and other data or privacy breaching, either for the phone photograph point of view or my data point of view, that's breaching. So we are lacking there. So after what we are, the one more instance that we can add here, that is a generative video or AR/VR. That is your that is not a part of this particular presentation, but I've included that the AR. सबको पता होगा ये. And third one भी होता है, where basically we are talking about that agents and all, that is your reinforcement learning. So unsupervised, supervised, and reinforcement learning. So whenever we are talking about these agents and not agents and basically awarding, let's we usually, or I ask my kiddo, please do this, I'll give you this, I'll please do this. अब आजकल के बच्चे ऐसे तो है नहीं है, please I'll give you this amount of money. They're not interested in that. Moreover, he will be interested in, mama, please do my this work, and you'll be allowed to play PS5 for the half an hour or 35 minutes or 45 minutes more. He'll be more than happy to work for me. So that is means awarding for giving a good work. And same thing, if he is not doing, it should be punished too. So this is a part of, means whenever we are talking about these reinforcement learning is more about your gaming wala part, right? Supervised and unsupervised learning when we are talking about some known data and unknown data, and clustering when we are talking about, that is your unsupervised, and classification, right? Let's not devote so much time here, right? It's basically focusing whenever it's focusing on the algorithms or the statistical models that is basically used to learn our data without being explicitly programmed, that I've written here. So two types of learning, one is supervised and one is unsupervised. Then comes into our picture my deep learning. So deep learning is when we are talking about neural networks, means I ask my system to work, or machine, not system, my machine to work or think as your mind. That is where you're working about, you're using some means neuron, or whatever I'm speaking, you should be able to understand that. That is your NLP, right? So NLP, my Siri is the example of NLP. My Android का भी होता है आपका कुछ, I don't remember its name, your speech recognition system. I have the Siri is the best example. So where Siri is working with your NLP or the speech recognition system. Then after that, AI, ML, deep learning, we are dealing with this Gen AI, where my today's lecture is associated. So when we are talking about, we are talking in a daily life, kahin par bhi jao, we are dealing with artificial intelligence. If I'm using my credit card, it's AI. If I'm using, if I'm going to my college and my face is detected through the biometric, that is your face recognition system. My swiping or paying online system, that is my AI. If I'm going to Blinkit, it starts ordering, starts recommending me ki, if you have bought bread, then recommend this customer to buy butter and all. That is also recommended system part of this too. So AI is a part of our everyday life. Spamming filters, we have in your messages and in your emails. Now it's already defined that these are my spam mails, so apne aap spam mein chala jata hai. They are these mails don't bother me to disturb me ki ha bahut sara mails aaya. Search engine, if I'm going to Google or Bing, anywhere, that is my AI. Chatbots, chat GPT, my maximum, my student, even my son used to do many things by chat GPT, though I scold him, but yeah, you have to learn, you have to see how my latest technologies are working. So chatbots आपके हो गए आजकल तो. Chatbots भी जो है, even your customer care is your more with your it seems like, until and unless you are not specific about the problem, your problem is if it's a common problem, that is your chatbot is totally trained with the basic questions, and it's asking on the questions, and you have to pick, and if it's not, the problem is not specific, that problem is resolved by your chatbot also. So unlocking your phone, obviously that is my facial recognition. I given biometric example too. Unlocking your computer with my fingerprint scanning, or anywhere. So in my everyday life, we are using your AI, my Siri, my Alexa. These are the two important, Siri and Alexa. हर एक चीज पे होता है. I mean, Siri play this, Siri play this. Many times we are driving, I ask Siri to call this and call Then recommendations on video streaming services. Your Netflix is the best example. As per your genre, it recommends you which series or which web series or which movies you have to see. And social media and feed content, including ads, everything. If I'm searching on Google, I want to plan some vacations, and let's suppose Agra, I pick that. Google start me recommending everything, my hotel. Even I don't know. It's some device. It's how it's obviously it must be capturing through microphone. Also, and start recommending what are the itinerary, what are the basic how you can proceed, what are the hotels. मतलब दो चार search की जरूरत है. If you are not working in ignito mode, it's basically tracking each and every activity where you're working. So अब आप बात करते हैं. So how we are working? We are working with when we have input A and we have output B of your online advertising. Image and radar information. It basically uses output kya hogi, what are the positions of the other cars, and examples are your Tesla, that is your self driven car. Then x-ray image, that is your diagnosis. It's totally a part of healthcare, and many robotic surgeries and many things are done in the area of healthcare. Audio recording, and that's a speech test generation of your output will be a text transcript, means converting from audio to text, and it's a application area is your speech recognition. Then restaurant reviews, movie reviews, whatever, app reviews, that goes in your sentiment. And positive and negative output रहता है आपका, and your application is your reputation monitoring. And even after sentiment, I just asked my students to work if I'll get some negative reviews or anyone, if you see there are the trolling aapka chalta rehta hai, how those negative comments are affecting to my mental health, that's again a part. So this is a part of your NLP or the sentiment or classification. So if I say about 2010 to 20 era, that the performance there, we have small AI models and large AI, small AI, where we are working, where we have the small set of data, and large AI models that we are talking about only your generative. So now what is human like ability of generative AI? That is for conversing, considering, and creating your captured imaginations. How we have got here, the decades we have worked. So let's start with the topic of today's talk, that actually, so I've made or created a base with some examples. So now what is Gen AI, right? So Gen AI is a type of artificial intelligence that is creating new content such as your text, your code, your images, your audio, your video, whatever, by extrapolating from its training data. And how it's working, ChatGPT is trained. Every time, if you see, whenever you are using your ChatGPT, it's mentioned don't put any query that is sensitive or that is some have some privacy concerns, because your data, whatever the query that is that you are putting into it, they are your ChatGPT or OpenAI is using that for your training, for making it or performing it better. So unlike traditional AI I'm talking about means chess problem or any games. We have some rules and we have some templates. If you have talk about your AI, हमारे पास क्या होता था, we have for the AI, I don't know. It's in one by one. Hamari, what we are getting, it's me and one is opponent. 0 and 1, 0 and 1, and whosoever is making your first horizontal or vertical line is going to win that particular thing. So we have some rules. We have some predefined rules. It's a basic, very basic example I've put. And but Gen AI, what it's doing with the black, working with your neural networks, that when we are exposing to the world, we are training on the real world data. It's not working on the predefined that is available on your Kaggle, means we are not working on any Kaggle data, we are working on the real world data. We are basically working on the queries that we are giving, right? So on the basis of that, it's developing the intelligence. And when we are talking about your traditional AI, it's basically excelling when we are talking about the pattern recognition wala part, right? And pattern creation on the basis of that. So what is generative AI? It's an example. I've given the 3 examples. You must have heard your OpenAI. It's your Chat GPT. It's created by this. Your Bard, that is your Google, and your Bing Chat, that is Microsoft. Right? You must have heard all this. So AI system that can produce high quality content, specifically text, images, and audio. I'll ask each and everything. Create this poster. Right? We are basically giving some prompts to that. Now, what is that prompt that I we are going to discuss in your next few slides. So, it's the very famous, or it's a good example for, let's suppose I have to post something on Instagram. I ask my Meta AI, or WhatsApp mein aapka Meta AI, I'll ask my Meta AI to generate 3 captions that I want to go, and Instagram captions, he'll give you number of options to for your caption. So this query that I've given to Meta AI is known as your prompt. So 3 captions on the basis of means I should have sunglasses and robot. आपको जो specifications चाहिए वो आपने दिया, and automatically that query is resolved. And the same example is discussed in your second, that is your part, and third one is your Bing chat, right? So these are the prompts. So we are basically generating some prompts, and when we are talking about this Gen AI paradigm, we are basically synthetic, as I discussed in my previous slide, means audio, code, images, text simulations, etc. For a given set of input, we are basically working with 3 things. One is your transformer based models, where your LLMs, your GPT-4, your MetPalm, and your Chat GPT are based. Then second one is the generative adversarial networks and diffusion models. This means we are giving some mask value, right? We are giving input text, then we are giving mask, and on the basis of this input text and mask, we are predicting something. Second type mera kya hai? That is the next sentence. Means if I'm saying I am going to, this is my sentence, that is your input text. What is my OpenAI ChatGPT is predicting? Means I'm going to college or kitchen or somebody else. That is my prediction. So for these we need to understand the contextual, what is the contextual understanding, what is your vocabulary expansion, and how we are generating the language, right? So contextual isme aapka, what is there, that is the coherence recognition, and the when I'm talking about the mass language modeling, we are talking about the contextual understanding, vocabulary expansion, and the language generation. When we are talking about the your next generation, your sorry, sequencing, I'm talking about the contextual understanding, coherence recognition, and disclosure understanding, right? So how we are generating text using LLMs, that is your large language models. So text generation the process is, this is a prompt that I have given. I love eating what? I love eating pizza. I can, it may be possible I love eating your pasta, anything. So this is the prompt. So blank is there. What can be the AI output? Pizza with my daughter. This can be one option. Cheeseburger pizza. This may be the one option. Out with my friends. That's also too good. So LLMs are basically building on the basis of supervised learning, means A value, that is implying to B, and repeatedly predicting my next word. So let's suppose this is my sentence, that is my favorite food is a pizza with extra cheese. So how input A is going to me and how in output B is generating. I'm just taking an example here. So my favorite food is a. This is first sentence part will be coming. Then output can be pizza, because my next जो आपका word है, that is my pizza here, right? My favorite food is pizza. Then output will be that with. So accordingly, my A and B values are given, and at the end, how it's by using this, I am generating this particular sentence that favorite food is pizza with some extra cheese. So how this natural language processing is generation is working, that I've discussed in my previous in your last second slide. So I've given something, a trained language model, it's an input I've given to LLM, right? So work probability. So आपका sentence क्या गया है यहाँ पर? LLMs are basically an example of what is it's a part of Gen AI. Output, if I have given a word that we are generating a text by predicting one word at a time. So what is here? These are the probability calculation. So output of step 1 means after a trained language model, input आपने दिया, process to the LLM, then word will be your speak, probability generate, politics, and there are n number of words here, and the probability of those words are mentioned here. This is a random example. I'm not solving that. Right? When this output 1 is generated, now generate and coherent. So ability, word probability मेरा क्या है इधर? Ability, text, coherent, and ideas. your probability of current is at 0.05. So this is how it's working. So when I am talking about LLMs are the classific your base of your foundation models. They are basically taking inputs and generating text outputs, right? Right. It can be any protein sequence, right, which are essentially a text. So these three things: one is your encoder, second one is your attention mechanism, and third one is your decoder. So text input आपने दिया, language model आपने दिया, and what we are getting some text output on the basis of some numeric representation of text that is useful for my system. So I when we are talking about this chat gpt, we are talking about the transformer model architecture. Means if you took into, you must have used this particular architecture in your projects too. We have input and embeddings. After input embeddings, we have some positional encoding. After positional encoding, we have encoded something. We have the two things: one is the feed forward and one is a multi-head attention that is passed through, and this network is passing through with your softmax function, with your linear, and with your same multi-headed engine model. And final, after positional encoding, your output so our output probabilities are generated, right? So apne, I'm just taking one example here. Just look into this. This is let's suppose first sequence my hi, how are you, right? This is my input embedding. जो आपने previous example लिया, I have just used that particular transformer based model. On the basis of this, I'm trying to explain in a better way how it's working. So first step is input embedding is processed. The sentence is hi, how are you, right? So on the basis of this, there are the two things. I'm calculating two things. One is the horizontal and one is a vertical, means sine and cosine values. That is the generation, and these are the formulas I cannot explain here. And after these formulas, what we are doing, we are basically calculating your probabilities, your encoder, how we are going to represent this in your encoder input presentation, and positional input मेरी embeddings मेरी क्या रहेंगी. And this is the same from the previous example. And after that, we are basically using your taking it linear transformation, concatenation, and then softmax function is applied, and we are generating values. So if you have studied that JPEG compression, it's almost the same example, or almost the same I would say methodology that is being used here. Means now what I've done, I have calculated this hi, how are you, I have converted into a matrix that is hi, how are you, with, let's suppose if I have a word, we have four words, so 4 cross 4 matrix, that is 16, and we have calculated its value by these sine and cosine values. These are the random values, actual nahi hua yahan par. Then after your softmax function, what I'm calculating this, I'm dividing. There's a formula that is written here, that exponential of xai and summation of xi. We are calculating the softmax value, and softmax value, when I've done this, we are arranging this into, next is higher probability. We are arranging this from higher probability to lower probability. So higher probability means start, that is 0.7, if you are seeing that, right? And 0.01, 0.02 lower probability values are being eliminated. And finally, what we are doing, we are calculating, one is your mass scores. Then mass scores आपके कैसे आ रहे हैं? It's basically calculated by using your scale scores and the look ahead mass. And after that, what this is your softmax value. Then what will be the answer? Question मेरा क्या था? Hi, how are you? The answer would be your I'm fine, right? So I'm fine. How it is calculated? This is means first I've started with the transformer based model. How it is worked means input embeddings, and it's passed through the calculation of this by using the sine and cosine values. Then your application of calculating this, converting into the 3D to 2D value. Then softmax. Then minimizing or arranging with high probability to lower probability. Then scores, look ahead mask, and your mask scores, right? So GPT आपका कैसे काम करता है? GPT is basically working. I don't know this GIF is working there or not. Hopefully it's working. There's a छोटा सा, it's a small GIF that is in your slide right now, and source is written there. I picked some from the net source. So step one, we are collecting some data, training, curating that, right? Applying and training that self-supervised policy means we are giving some set of words and predicting the text one, and providing some prompts to the pre-trained models. So let's suppose this is the data that is we are collecting some training data and curating that. So we are taken the example here. Correct output means labeling of that data, means generating some training examples. And this input features a robot. If you have seen a robot, these are the general example, random example I've given. So a robot must. This is the first step output. Then this a robot must is feed it to the GPT-3, and what way the output is predicting or extra your obeying. No, it can be possible. What is the output? Then it is giving. Then correct output label will be your obey. It's working there. And final, the reciting the first law of robotics, and it's after processing and providing the prompts to the pre-trained model is generating that a robot may not injure a human being or whatever. So this is the final sentence generation. So how we are working, we are taking some how this GPT is working. It's taking from where it's taking the data, your books, literature books or whatever, your Wikipedia, the major source of your data curating, then your scientific research, then the research publications, etc. Crawled data from the internet, my Google, and their customer curated data sets. And after taking input, so input mera kya raha hai, that these are my inputs, and these inputs are tokenized, or means we are encoding the text into the numeric representation. Means any XYZ is a language model that can help you generating text for a variety of tasks, right? Converting those values or tokenizing, assigning some tokens to those values, and finally token embeddings, that is done in your third. And when this is the part of your encoding, when this encoding done, then where we have some pre-trained transformer models, and we are generating the values. Output text would be after this embeddings, and finally the predicting, that is the decoding part, or the your next generation or next sentence guessing or the prediction. So prompt engineering, there are many examples available. If you'll look into even this, I have tried on my Meta AI. So if let's suppose you can give these prompts to your GPT-2. So describe the Statue of Liberty. It'll give the brief explanation of your Liberty statue. Just look into one the last three examples, that who is the Prime Minister of India. So if I'll search the same thing on Google, right? It will give me Narendra Modi, Honorable Narendra Modi name, right? And but I'll ask about your GPT, who is the Prime Minister of India. It gives you a brief how many seats this BJP has won, what is the allocation, uske baad kya hua, and now the Narendra Modi. So this is how it is describing. Basically, you can relate that. Means I'm assigning a single query, and it's a detailed answer that is given by either any Meta AI or a GPT. Standardize any this print currency format. So we generally work, or we generally create code for convert your dollar value into your rupees into euro, whatever. So I've given up simple. I've tried this. Means I've given one value in your dollar. I've given one value in your, let's suppose, euro and rupees and dirham. And I've asked I asked GPT, so this is, I've purchased this XYZ with this dollar, euro, and dirham and rupees, and convert them all into a standardized your currency format. And after my each query, your your Meta AI is answering. So Python function. So calculate the factorial of given integer, where your if I'll talk about this for specifically company, so Copilot is the good example where it's working. So cheat sheet for the prompts, obviously. What is the goal? What you want to do? Let's suppose you can take an example of your Copilot. What are the do sayings? What do you want exactly? What is it should be context, it should be what is your expectations, it should be clear, it should be specific, and you should give some examples, punctuation or decent grammar, so accuracy. And then so obviously you are not supposed to type randomly, you're talking to your friend or your best friend, and vague statement. So as per your prompt, your GPT will be answering. So as I talked about your LLMs are trained on your exceedingly large corpus of data. Large corpus of data means books, Wikipedia, your to Google or examples, whatever. And what we are doing, it's generated by, if you look into, so this is your Wikipedia. It's the source of source of or the contribution of Wikipedia is, that's it, right? Then this is the basically, if you look into the colors that the Wikipedia, it's only the source. 3.49 percentage is given to Wikipedia. If I'll talk about the corpus of your data, books, that's only 8.1%. Then the Reddit links, that is the major 18.86%, and book corpus, that is 7.8, and the common crawl, that is a major part of generating or working with your GPT is your 61.75. So this is your Wikipedia. This is the it's a Reddit submission corpus where we are basically extracting some post, some news, many obviously every online or any soft form of that newspaper, either is TOI or Economic Time, everything is available. Discussion, extracting some data on the Twitter comments or any many other contributions too. So except that, we have some common crawl where we have normal Google, your post. So approximate 90 plus 9 million plus more domains are available. So if I talk here, this GIF basically shows the growth of GPT-3, and if we can see the significant interest have shown been reflected in the recent times, that is basically showing the wide ranging of capabilities. If I started with the 8 billion parameters only, where your language understanding, summarization, and arithmetic code completion was started, but now it's working with the 540 billion parameters, right? Except, so we can classify your various generative AI application into four broad categories. One is your content analytics, one is your content generation, answer engines, and the agents. So when I'm talking about the content analytics, means I'm reimagining the your NLP and synthesis and information extraction capabilities. Then content generation, we are basically working with a co-pilot or discussion or the content creation with the help of messages and images. Then answering the image engines, that is next generation chatbots. I've taken an example of there are many chatbots available, right? And the agents, that is intelligent agents, I would say, that is basically using the workflow of the key roles, conversational analytics, etc. What are the limitations where your LLM cannot work is your LLMs can work with your generative or inferential language-based use cases. LLM often hallucinate, even once trained with the high quality of data, while you're appearing, it generally hallucinate. You seems that it is correct, but it's still appearing very confident, but there's some issues with that. Or LLMs are frequently biased when it's talking about generating the data. And output, and it's basically perpetuating the biasness or inherent in the training data, right? So these are the generative AI landscapes. If I'll talk about the text, we have the marketing, sales, support, generating, writing, note taking, and the other examples. When I'm talking about the code, it's a code generation. If I'll talk about the factorial code, generate karo, chat GPT will give me. Then code documentation, converting text to SQL, web app builders, etc. Then image generation, consuming and media advertising, designing, and voice synthesis, or video editing and generations. For the 3D, if I'll talk about 3D models in the scenes, and other we have gaming, music, audio, biology, and etc. So this is now I am talking about only 5 6 I would say, and these are the pointers. That is just a minute, एक second wait कीजिए. So these are, I'm not insisting, or I'm not emphasizing on this particular thing, but we can see quickly here. And these are the applications. Second one is where your Gen AI is working on the basis of your software development, where we are basically dealing with your generating ideas and implementing softwares and etc. Then your production, where it's dealing with your research and development, production and design, prototyping, marketing and sales, expert advisors, it's so much theory. I'm just skipping quickly from here. And here are the most examples. The text to text generation, that is your you can say the text summarization, etc. Text to code, that is your co-pilot, a black button saying click me, that's the code generated by your these are the capabilities of your gen AI. Generating text to image, that is if I've given this image and text to image, just generate that particular image, and this image is being third image is generated by your gen AI. Text to video, an example of these are first very much used, that is ChatGPT by OpenAI, the Palm by Gemini by Google, your your GDSC, OpenGPT by OpenFA, GitHub Copilot. Many just repeated this word many times. By OpenAI, Imagen by Google, and Make a Video by Meta AI. So these are the tools available. Everybody knows about your ChatGPT is an OpenAI tool. It uses, or its main function is based on your NLP, that is your natural language processing. And on the basis of this natural language processing, it is basically answering your questions, generating content, summarizing the information as per your query generation. ChatGPT Plus, that's the paid version of ChatGPT, which is providing your access to the latest updates, such as your improvised models, etc. And third one is a Claude, that is developed by Anthropic. This is a chatbot based on the Claude 3 large language models, and it is basically using the constitutional AI, and it is basically integrating AI and the legal frameworks to self-govern, and you're eliminating human data labeling. Then text generation tools, that is your chatbots. One is a Copilot that I mentioned. That is not as the same Copilot that is created by Microsoft. It's a recommended Gen AI tool at Waterloo University, and this is Microsoft Gen AI chatbot, basically running on OpenAI GPT-4 large language models. Is there any query, Neha madam? Just a minute.
Students, are there any queries?
No, sorry. I thought somebody asked me something, but it's a Google form. So
Yeah, that was the feedback form.
okay, fine.
Yeah. I
Gemini.
thought, I mean, like you're asking certain queries from the students.
No. I'm not asking
Okay.
any queries right now. I'm just winding up because it's getting late now, right?
That's
So
okay.
I'm winding up quick now because I just rushed from the college. So Gemini is your text generation tool, right? Then your image generation tools are your Crayon and Firefly and Midjourney, the Stable Diffusions, and many these are the specific purpose tools. uh, I have hardly used 2 3 tools that are available. That main is your Meta AI, kabhi kabhi WhatsApp पे use ho jata hai. Otherwise I'm in against of that these using these Gen AI or these open AI tools. But I would say pros and cons are always there. We should be adaptable to the new technologies or the latest technologies that are coming into the market, but if with the limitations or with the ethics or with the some rules and regulations. So if I'm asking, or if because if I'm asking generally you people, the students are saying either it's the Chitkara University or my BVP students. So they are all working on one thing, that even now they have started generating or working practical files with the help of ChatGPT. They just ask, and whatever these ChatGPT is answering, is pasting those pages on the files, and we are, what is this? So we should not use, as a student, we should basically use this particular technology to what extent, but obviously it is making us a bit lazy. It's asking us to not to use so much about your mind. It's basically asking not to use your intelligence. At least if you are asking anything to chat or open AI, at least you should see what he's answering. You're just, many students, I'm not sure about you people, means you're just copying and pasting, and even you are not even hardly bothered about at least remove the basic things from the chat, because it's a query generation. So these are the very purpose. They are making our work easy, but as well as they are basically taking some I would say some values, I would say basic intelligence from our side, right? So we are asking create PPT from your tool. We are asking generate video. Even my daughter, she's in college, she created some poster by using GPT. Obviously, after that, she edited by herself, but the basic poster is generated by your chat gpt, your gpt. So, and your video generation, your audio to speech, whatever, your text summarization, everything, there's in many applications available right now. And even a kid of 10 or 7 or 8 years don't know any training, not required any train to train how to use chat gpt. Even I'll ask to work this particular exercise, he needs some guidance from my side. But for the chat gpt, everybody is trained, because you people are so much enthusiastic or so much used to of all this technology. So grammarly, I use that. My researchers, many researchers use this tool. This is a very good tool. Genie AI, Utter AI, Perplexity, etc. So these are the very specific tools that is used in for specific area of specialization. And AI is nothing. AI is basically dealing or talking or working in a specific research area of interest. So when we are talking about the automation of complex processes, these are the key strengths of generative AI. It's work with the data augmentation or the completion wala part. It moves with very good predictive analysis, statistical analysis. It's working with supporting real-time optimization and your multimedia generations. And peak points, obviously, I discussed in 2 slides back, hallucinations. When AI produces unreliable and erroneous output, it basically ignores your data-driven strategy. It reduces customer trust and limits operational efficiency. So many times you need to, when it's asked for your feedback, is it the right answer that is generated by your OpenAI? If yes or no, it is basically working. It's basically giving awards, means giving some positive points and the negative points. If I say no, you have not worked as per my query generated or the prompt given, it works on that particular. So it's basically regularly working or training or increasing the efficiency on the basis of what we are giving the query. So training aapka jo chal raha hai, that is regular, that is an in continuous process. So summary of this particular is obviously it comes with a great power, comes with a great responsibility. We should keep learning and exploring Gen AI tools. I'm not in against of that, but use it at one extent. And we should know how Gen AI tool can help or harm at your personal, professional, and societal levels. We should be able to. We should use your Gen AI with some ethics. There should be. Even I've written one feedback to my university that there should be one subject should be included in the curriculum that teaches your AI ethics and is totally deals with your ethics wala part. We have taught AI, we have taught many things that is related to your artificial intelligence, your data science, etc., etc. But we are not teaching our students how these ethics are important, how we should use this AI tools ethically, or which is right for your profession, societal levels. So one subject should be included. I don't know how much they will entertain this particular thing, but yes, we have written, we have done our process. Now the rest one is my university should discuss the merits and demerits of the Gen AI. I've discussed in my slides starting under specific Gen AI tools with your students also. And what are the many purpose, what are the education platform tools or available tools for this Gen AI. So these are the sources that I've taken for creating my presentation. That's it, and thank you. That's it, Pam.
It was really a very informative session, ma'am. I really enjoyed it.
Really? I don't think.
All right, students, if there are any queries, right, you can just ask ma'am.
Can I stop?
Yeah, please stop. You can stop sharing. Okay, you've not given
So
access.
they can ask via message.
Through chat window. Don't give them.
Ah.
Don't give them access. The question is, can I do business in Gen AI?
Business, do you want to open a startup in Gen AI? That's not a right question, bache. Obviously, it's Gen AI. There are the courses, there are the many courses available in the area of Gen AI. Before starting a business, at least you should know what is exactly. It's not easy to teach you Gen AI technicalities in a 1 hour or 1.5 hour. Obviously, you can do, but Gen AI is not a business. They are the various applications where it's dealing. You have to identify which application you want to work or which tool you want to work. बिजनेस तो ऑब्वियसली पॉसिबल है ही, बट बिजनेस जेनआई पर नहीं होगा, जेनआई के किसी एप्लीकेशन या किसी टूल को यूज करके होगा. एंड दैट पर्टिकुलर टूल शुड बी आई वुड से helping to should be able to resolve any query. और कुछ हम जनरली बिजनेस या प्रॉब्लम क्यों करते हैं, कुछ प्रॉब्लम दिख रहा होगा तभी तो उसका सॉल्यूशन देंगे ना, उसी के हिसाब से बिजनेस करेंगे, राइट?
Then somebody has raised his hand.
Sujal. Ma'am, that's actually me only.
Yes, Sujal.
He has asked, I think ऐसे ही छोड़ा था.
He hasn't asked, but he raised his hand.
Udyan has I just missed.
Okay. Perfect.
Hmm. Yes. This is not a part of, actually, I won't say this particular example if I am associating. This is more with your NLP. So there are many examples available where you have to show. It's basically assuming. I've taken one example that was a simple example. Let's suppose the cat sat on a mat. That cat, what are the probabilities? Or I love pizza. Or eating pizza with whom? So these are the probabilities. So as per as you say, this word, there are the many words. Let's suppose bank. One bank is basically is the river bank, and one bank where we deposit our money. So it basically on the example or the sentence making, we are basically identifying which bank word is associated with this particular sentence. So it's not a Gen AI wala part. Gen AI is totally, it's a total upper umbrella. It's a part of it's NLP. It's more NLP. I would say it's basically natural language. Basically, how my system is understanding that particular language. अब यहाँ हमें तो पता है एक रिवर के साथ बैंक फाइनेंस वाला नहीं अटैच हो सकता है कीवर्ड. रिवर बैंक इज वी आर वर्किंग ऑन अ बैंक ऑफ अ रिवर एंड वी आर डिपोजिटिंग आवर मनी टू अ बैंक. सो हमारे लिए दोनों बैंक अलग अलग हैं. But for system, we need to train that particular system. If that particular word is coming up with your, let's suppose, finance or something, it means that is associated with your bank, means where we are basically working or dealing with the financial areas. So वो आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग, वो आप मशीन को आपको उस हिसाब से ट्रेन करना पड़ेगा as per your word selection. So these are the many words. So this is a part of NLP only. I started one of my work with my students in this RAG. So they have not worked with the RAG. I can't exactly answer this. So they are working on some on that is a correlation between your medicinal keywords. Means let's suppose I am giving a query to my LLM and I'm asking what is the relation between X word and Y word. RAG I have not studied right now. So RAG so you can start with, because many work have been done in the area of RAG, but I've not deeply gone into that. Okay, that's it.
All right, ma'am, I have something for you. I'm sharing it here.
But
Yeah, that's a surprise.
ऑनलाइन मीटिंग में भी सरप्राइज होते हैं क्या?
हमारे साथ रहोगे तो सरप्राइजेस मिलते रहेंगे.
तो तारा बुलाइए ना, ऑफलाइन के लिए बुलाइए.
How? Anytime. You're welcome.
बताइए.
So this is the certificate of recognition from our side to you. However, I will be mailing it, but I
Okay,
thought this
thank
would
you
be
so
a
much.
good gesture.
Okay, thank you so much,
And
ma'am.
it was really, the marvelous session and the light that you have thrown over the topic, Jenny. I was really, the session was really very informative.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, students. Thank you so much for this recognition, ma'am, and the Chitkara University, and thank you so much for this invite. And thank you for being good listener at this evening time, because every time it's this time is like we have worked for the whole day and we just want some relaxation. So
Sure.
listening at this particular time is again a challenging task. So thank you so much, students, Bacha.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you so
Bye,
much.
ma'am. Thank you, Bacha. Okay.